Okay, awesome. So I'm so glad all of you are joining us today. So I'm Jackie Diggins and I'm mom of 10 kids. And I'm so glad that you're here with us. I've got one of my beautiful daughters here with me. Summer is one of 6 daughters, and she's an amazing wife. And she's the second one in the family of 10. And so her and I thought that we would just get on here and just chat about our Christmas plans and what we do and how it works in our family. Because I know a lot of people, I've had people ask me about things. And I know Summer, you too have had people just ask you how things work with a big family, not only at Christmas, but other times, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we are excited this year because this is the year that most of them, we've got 3 out of the house, and most of them will be with us for Christmas. And so what we usually do it where you guys go Thanksgiving with one family, like your spouse's family, and then us with Christmas, and then we switch it, right?
Yeah. So this year it's our year to be all together at your house. Hopefully all 10 kids can come along with our husbands and wives. We're wife. There's only one. So we're looking forward to that. And it's kind of nice that it works out since 2 of us girls are out of the house. It works out where we both get to be at the same time and we're not on and off year where we're separate. So
yeah, we kind of planned it that way so that when the girls were home, that they would both be home at the same time, which is kind of fun. Otherwise, it would be harder for us all to be together, at any one time. So we enjoy other times during the year when they come separately to visit and sometimes together or whatever, but it is fun to spend the holiday together. So what are you, I know you and your sister Jana have some plans before you get here. So can you tell us what you two have talked about doing?
Yeah, so we're thinking about having a day of baking because we have some goodies before Christmas. So we're thinking next week she's gonna come over probably with her little 1.5-year-old and we're gonna do some baking. We talked about each picking out maybe 3 goodies to make and just make them and have a little afternoon of turn on some Christmas music and
yeah, just have fun together.
Yeah. So we're looking at that. I was thinking that I need to sit down and make a list of what I'm gonna make. Some of my favorites. So
yeah, that's what the other day I had another daughter, Alina. I asked her if she would help plan what we want to do and eat on the 2 days, especially Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And so we talked about the meals and we talked about what maybe games we wanted to play and just some things that we can have scheduled to do so that we're not there's a lot of us in one space, and there's all different ages, and so it's fun to have some things planned.
Yeah, keep everybody busy and enjoying. Alina the other day and said that you guys were thinking of doing Christmas cookies on Christmas Eve, or decorating them and stuff. So I thought that was a good idea.
Yeah, so that was one thing we talked about. We talked about going to look at Christmas lights together.
Yep.
Yeah, so we thought that would be fun. And that's something that if we don't have time, that can easily just go away.
Yeah, or if something else.
Yeah, and so I like to be flexible that way, not to be so rigid with the plans that if they don't happen, I don't care. Like I'm not upset, because there's just everything we do is important, and for a purpose. And so another thing we talked about was going to a Christmas Eve service.
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll plan to do that. And that's fun just to keep the remembrance of why we're celebrating. It kind of slows all the activity down just a little bit, and we can go and enjoy a service and Christmas carols as a family.
Yeah, I remember growing up, we usually went to a Christmas Eve service and then we'd eat some sort of a dinner afterward. I remember one year we did a red and white theme. So
Yeah.
I don't had did we have turkey maybe as the meat or something as
Yeah.
more meat, and then we did, I guess I don't remember what we did for all the red, but
Yeah, I think we had shrimp.
oh, shrimp too. Okay.
Yeah, shrimp cocktail. I want to say we maybe had potatoes or something like that
Oh,
for the
probably.
rice, but it was fun.
It's kind of a theme to it sometimes.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then I got another text from a brother the other day asking what we should do for a theme of dressing up. One year I don't remember if it was on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, but we all wore flannels or plaid on one of the days. So we were all matching.
Yeah, and that was fun. We had some extended family with us besides our own that time, and we had a photo booth set up, a place where we could take pictures, and then it was really fun.
Yeah.
I like looking back at those pictures because they're so colorful,
Mhm.
and it was a really sweet time.
Yeah.
So yeah, another thing that I have people ask me about is gift giving and how we do it. Because I know for me for years, that was a big deal. And like, what do we do and how do we do it? Because I'm not a huge gift giver. Like that's not a huge gift of mine,
Yeah.
something that I do easily. And so do you want to tell them what you remember us doing and what we do now and just some of the thoughts about that?
Yeah. I guess for the gifts, I remember drawing a little bit when we were younger, drawing names. And
Mhm.
some years where we would say, okay, make something for your siblings. That was when we were younger. I remember before we all had our own money or something to buy for each other. So we'd make and this year we all drew names. I got my brother is he 18? 17 or 18? One of the two.
Yeah, he's 18.
So I got him, which I think that he's the hardest, but
Maybe just the most expensive or something. Everyone has their different likes.
yeah.
What
So
was that, some?
he asked me if I had a price limit. I'm like, well, I mean, to a certain point.
Right. Yeah. So yeah. And you guys, I know one of the years we said, Dad and I don't want to be in the drawing because we wanted to get everyone a gift, but in the last few years, you kids have said, you guys be in it too. So we do draw names with all the kids, but then we also buy the ones in the house like gifts from us, just like we would our own just our own group that's at the house,
Yeah. Yeah.
And so yeah, and so that works out good. And usually, what do we do when we open them? I think we've done it a few different ways.
So it's usually been usually everybody has about one gift, unless it's another one from you and dad. But usually we start with the youngest and let them, which means I have to wait a long time.
Yeah.
No, it's fun we kind of make it so we can focus on each one opening their gift and see their excitement on their faces when they see what it is. So that's fun. And if there are multiple gifts, usually we'll do one and go all the way up to the oldest and then start back and open the second one if there is multiples.
Yeah.
That way everybody gets a turn.
And I like it when we have the person that's giving the gift, they go get it and then they hand it to the person who got the gift for, so that's kind of fun. And I know in our immediate, like with just the core ones at home, we often have them, a couple of the younger ones, pass out all the gifts. And then we try to, I think sometimes we open them one person at a time opens all their gifts. So we've done it a few different ways and it all works well.
Yeah. And then are you planning on doing stockings with the kids at home too? I know usually we would do stockings one day and then some gifts another day.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if we're gonna fill those yet or not. We'll know if something comes to mind to put in them. But this year, most of the kids know what they're getting already because that's just the way it worked. Last year, do you remember what I got everyone? Well, I think I got all our kids at home and then the person I picked their name, but I got everyone my pillows. And then I got them a satin pillowcase.
Okay, yeah.
And I think you and your husband got them for your birthdays because I didn't pick your names. So anyway, so I had that idea. I feel like God gave me that idea. And so that's what I got last year. But this year I told the kids, like, I didn't have anything on my heart specifically, except for give me even the link or show me exactly what you want. And then I was just getting that.
The picture or
like I was getting, so most of them knew or know at least one thing they're getting, and that's okay too.
Get older, I think they get a little more picky on some of the things they want. Maybe the color needs to be a certain color or some they have specifics. Yeah, so even though like we picked a few of those gifts up they wanted at the store when they were with me, well, I went ahead and had them wrapped. Like I'm not just giving them to them, I'm going through the process of they're being under the tree and wrapped so they still have something to open. So it's nice to be flexible with what we're doing for Christmas, because it takes the stress out of it sometimes. A lot of times people feel pressure during the holidays. Do you feel pressure during the holidays? No, this year I was actually really excited for Christmas or I'm excited for the holidays. As well, I'm pregnant with our baby.
Yes.
And I'm excited to, next year we'll have a baby at all the festivities. So I'm excited just to take in all the things.
All the fun and all the things. One other thing that I've really liked that we do, and I started this several years ago, I don't know when, but when we sit down usually it's Christmas Eve, and we sit around the table and we each have a candle that's lit. And I try to darken the light so it's kind of a pretty time. And then we go around the table and we share, not necessarily a thankfulness thing, because that fits more with Thanksgiving. Well, it can be anytime, but this is more of a focus on what we've learned that year or what God has done in our lives that we've just seen him do in our lives that year. So that's one of my favorite times.
I remember doing that.
Yeah.
Which candles this year, because I think last time since we've added people, we were
really short.
Candles.
Yeah, we'll have to be sure that we
count them.
Look at that before. That's a good reminder. I'm gonna have to get those out and make sure we have enough, and that all of them, some of the candles are probably burned down, too.
For a couple of years.
But I would just put those candles in little votive with a little tiny tea light in them. And that's what we would use. And they're all kind of different looks, like the votives are kind of pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah. Can you think of anything else that we do for Christmas or that we would want to share?
I don't know. Sometimes we would go out and do some sledding. Usually behind others. We didn't really always have a good hill or anything close by, but we would hook up sleds behind the four-wheelers and do that sometimes after one day or after we open presents or something like that.
Yeah. So. And sometimes you've done it in the dark. Remember when we would get those going in the dark? We have a wood fireplace that we start if it's cold enough. And that's always fun.
Yeah, we all enjoy that.
The one game that we've started, we haven't done this a lot of years, but my side of the family always used to play with this at my grandma's house, and it was called Dill or Dollar, where we pass a quarter around and someone in the middle needs to find who's got the quarter. And we sing this song about Dill or Dollar as they do it. And so that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Some of those family games that's about the only time you play them, but
yeah, you need a big.
Yeah, that's what makes them special, is they're just done once a year at Christmas,
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I think one of the biggest things, that I know because there were years when I would stress about Christmas and what am I going to get? And, we got to do all the food. But now I just make a plan and I know it's going to be amazing. And I get made whatever works to make. I try to have all the kids help. Yeah. And I know you and Jana were huge because you guys were home in the time when I had so many, we had all the babies going through. And now we don't have the babies, but we still have, the 6-year-old, 8-year-old. So I will put them in charge of helping make something or, put a veggie tray together or whatever it is.
Cutting.
Yeah. Just get them involved in that. And so those kinds of things make the season fun. And if I'm stressed and upset, nobody has fun. And so, what was that?
People can feel it around you when you're not enjoying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I try to make it fun and light and just a joyful time, because that's what Christmas is about. And if we're stressed out doing it, what good does that do anything? And it's supposed to be this merry, joyful season. And if we're stressed out during it, why even do it?
Right. Yeah.
So I know in those years when I had so many of the little ones at home, I decided, okay, this year a Christmas card isn't getting out, a Christmas picture. And I just started letting go of some of the things that were maybe weighing on me. And I thought, I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
Or
if it doesn't work, it'll turn into a New Year's card, and that's okay.
Exactly. Yeah. It's being flexible and just realizing that we can let go of some of those expectations or traditions that you maybe have done for years, but do you really have to do them, you know,
Yeah.
to make it special? So anyway, so yeah, well, I'm glad you got on with me some. I'm hoping we can do this more often,
Yeah.
and just share some of what we do as a family of 10 kids plus now, because we have a lot more joining the family every few years or whatever it looks like,
We'll see.
and lots of different changes. And maybe one of these times another sister or brother can get on
Yeah.
and talk with us too, but we'll just see how that works. But anyway, so I'm just gonna shut this down. Thank you to all who have listened, and you can I do a lot of videos on YouTube and put ones up on Facebook and Instagram too, so you can find me there. And anyway, we'll just talk to you soon, and thank you for being on, Summer.
Yeah, thank you. I think it ended. It said stopped on my end.
I think that I have to end it here.